The question is, how can an aircraft get into a very steep nose-down attitude that quickly? And that is exactly what we are here to find out.
We start with breaking new details just revealed in a news conference about that cargo jet crash in Trinity Bay in Chambers County. We've learned the crash itself was caught on camera, that a second body has been recovered from the water, and that it could take more than a year before we know what caused this jet to go down. We have a team of reporters digging into all angles of this crash, including the people who were on board. But first we go to Marcelino Benito. Marcelino.
Ron, the NTSB just briefed us earlier today. They are now here on the ground, and they walked us through the final moments, what they know of those final moments on board this flight before something did go horribly wrong. We know around 12:36 that Atlas Air Flight was cleared to descend down to 3,000 feet. Everything appeared normal. There was no distress call. But just 3 minutes later, at 6,000 feet, all comms and radar contact was lost. What happened in those final moments is still a mystery tonight. The NTSB has yet to find the black box and cockpit voice and data recorders, and we learned finding them in this type of thick mud and environment will be tricky and could take a while. But those will be critical in the investigation. Authorities have recovered 2 bodies from the crash site, but are actively looking for the third person on board. Another big break in the investigation today was video of the actual plane crash. Take a listen to what the NTSB had to say about that.
The aircraft is in the video as it's descending. It's descending in a steep descent, steep nose down attitude, and it is in the video for approximately 5 seconds. We will of course send this video to the NTSB's laboratories in Washington, D.C. for a very detailed analysis.
Recovering pieces of the 767-300 plane was an ongoing effort today. The NTSB surveyed the area by airboat and helicopter. We know they found large chunks of the wings and pieces of the landing gear. As pieces are found, they will be brought by barge to a dock here and then further analyzed at a hangar in Chambers County. I can tell you they expect this investigation to likely take more than several months. The NTSB says they will remain here until they find those black boxes, cockpit and voice data recorders. They say they are committed to finding out what happened in this case, so that it doesn't happen again. Ron, back to you.
Marcelino Benito, live near Anahuac. Thank you so much. To help you understand the search a little better, this is an example of what a black box looks like. They're often painted in bright colors to make them easier to find. But remember, they're underwater and could be under debris or mud. We called a former NTSB investigator today who said those boxes will make a clicking sound. Teams will likely go in airboats and on foot with underwater microphones, listening for that signal to find the data inside. Also tonight, Mesa Airlines now confirms to CBS News that Captain Sean Archuleta was in the jump seat of the aircraft. Our Matt Doherty spoke with his roommate. Matt.
Yeah, Ron, the friend of the pilot called our newsroom this morning to talk with us about Sean Archuleta. Don Dalton, that's the friend who came out here to meet with us, said he'd known the pilot for years after he'd rented a room to him in his North Houston home. He says Archuleta was a great guy, 38 years old, and a new husband and father. He says he was supposed to meet up with him last night for dinner while the pilot was on a layover here in Houston. That, of course, never happened.
I said, hey Don, coming to town. I expect to be there this evening, and as he'd always done many times before, just let me know what's going on. And anyway, I didn't hear back from him after my last text, and he never did text back.
Dalton says Archuleta had never been in a crash and recently signed on with United Airlines. He says he was living out of the country with his new wife now. And Dalton says he was interviewed by the FBI earlier today for about an hour, asking him everything that he knew about Archuleta. Of course, we're going to have more updates on this story coming out tomorrow at 4 o'clock. That's the next press conference from the NTSB. Ron, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Matt Doherty. The sheriff says this crash could take weeks to clean up. We'll stay on the story as it develops. Head to KHOU.com to hear the final radio transmissions from the flight.